Welcome to Financial Freedom on Autopilot, where we help you draw out the map to unlock true freedom. Here's your host, real estate syndicator that's managed over 173 deals and doors over the past 18 years, Ivan Alfaro. Enjoy.
Let's talk perfection. When I was exiting a partnership in 2020, I wanted to create a new series called The 22 Keys to Negotiating Real Estate Deals. Probably had a slightly different name, but ultimately I decided, it's better to make this an audiobook because that's where the future is going. And then I created a spreadsheet to track every different aspect of the 22 keys. It was essentially following 22 deals and different aspects of the deal. I wanted to structure it in 3 bullet points per deal. I wanted to define the seller, the buyer, all of these different dynamics going on. And I got so caught up in structure that I haven't even worked on it. And that's why I got motivated to make this episode today, because all that structure led me to just not make it, period. It wasn't ever perfect. It wasn't ever structured enough. And so I just didn't make time for it. So I'm going to restart the series now. In terms of a deal not going perfectly, there is one aspect where it was a deal in East Atlanta Village area of here, Atlanta, maybe 10 minutes from downtown. And it was the first time I ever negotiated a property down by $15,000, just simply over text message. If I had listened to all the sales experts, like, no, you got to get them on the phone, you got to get them in person, you got to really hunker this down, then I would have never got that price reduction. I tried every single type of communication. I listed out my points in a straight, succinct way over a text after I couldn't get a hold of them consistently over the phone. And they actually accepted it. And it just brings to mind perfection could hold you back if you want everything to just be right, or you're listening to a mentor or coach that has to have it a certain way, because this is a very keen example of the opposite. Sometimes you just got to try new things, and sometimes you may piss people off. There were many negotiations where I did push the envelope of what the price could be, and in some cases it was actually because somebody else encouraged me. And yes, I'm a little bit ashamed of that I didn't want to do a negotiation on my own, because there's also a time not to. But I was open to a challenge by partners in some cases. Like, let's see if we can get a better price on this. And it's just not a straight line, this whole matter of negotiation. Sometimes it's really conversational above logical, structural, all of the O's, and you just got to move forward. For me, my process of negotiation and sales overall is really just about making sure they get what they want, while also not over leveraging, over committing myself. Because if I buy a property at way too high of a value, then there's going to be so much risk that it's going to be bankrupting the business. It just doesn't make sense. And in the next episode, I'm going to be talking specifically more about the debt side, the acquisition side, pricing, and the risk of all that. Probably not that next episode, but in some episode soon, it's going to be around the intricacies of debt, how it's usable, but it's also a risk if it's not used well. So that's this episode of Perfection. Can't wait to share with you more in the future. And by the way, I'm recording this randomly in my car on the drive home speaking to how perfection is not always great, because I just got to get this thing out. Instead of delaying more years, people need this information. All right, catch you next episode.
Thank you for partaking in this episode of Financial Freedom on Autopilot. To unlock full access to all content, subscribe for free access on ffautopilot.com.